When I was in Osaka, I visited the Muji store in Shinsaibashi to see what it had and to see how it compared with other stores. The store is actually one level in the Parco complex, and it's at the north end of the Shinsaibashi busy shopping street. It's quite similar to lots of other Muji stores, and I would say that this is sort of a mid-size. Compared to anything in Australia, though, huge range, but maybe not as big as another Muji I'm going to visit later. So you've got all your cosmetic. So if that's the sort of thing you're looking for, they have got quite a good range of that. But for me, being into creative pursuits and also traveling, I was interested in some other things. So I headed over into this corner where they had a good selection of bags and pouches. I always need another bag to store this or that or the other in, whether it's stationery, other craft items, or things for travelling. So I wasn't keen on those, but I had a good look. Now this purple one did catch my eye, because a lot of the colours are very muted there, but that one was interesting. But I've got a thing for see-through little pouches at the moment, so I put it back for now. I was also drawn in by this bag. Had them in a few colours. I think the mint green was the most interesting. Quite roomy. With a side pocket. I resisted on this occasion though. They had these mesh type bags, but they were just, I think, a little bit soft. So even though they were a bit see-through, they didn't really seem the right thing. They also had these hanging bags. You could use them for a variety of things, I think. Got a good hook on the top and then they fold up. Good for travelling, for putting all sorts of things in. Then these little small containers caught my eye. They're really rigid, but that zip was really hard to do up. So I passed on that one as well. Other bigger bags, some quite nice tote bags. Not loving the colour selection though, to be honest. I skipped the clothes because, to be honest, Japanese sizes, not for me. I was intrigued to see that they had this little coffee station here as well. With English instructions too. They had a small book selection. I didn't see anything other than in Japanese. And then I was onto the stationery. So they don't have a huge range, but what they've got is tightly packed in there. So they've got quite a good selection of pens. They've got these little notebooks, which are quite handy, really. It's all very reasonably priced as well. 190 yen. And they had them in like the two different colours, and plain and ruled, and I think they had dotted as well. Little tab markers, post-it notes, a selection of washi tape. I'd call it a very basic functional set though, nothing fancy, lots of plain colours. refills, all different sizes and lots of different colours. They've got that, like the creamy and the white, and all different layouts, like a column for a weekly planner. Really good to spend some time looking at all the things. You've got these clear envelopes with like the zip across the top, plastic sleeves. Then these caught my eye. It's like a little pouch with a clear front. I think they're designed for like putting your soft toys in. And of course, anything too big I wasn't going to buy because I've got to get it home on a plane. But nice little jewellery drawers and perspex boxes. They do have some of these things in Australia, but the range is so much bigger here. So much, much bigger. So these really caught my eye, and I have to admit I did get at least one of these. So stand by for me showing you these later. It was like a padded pouch and some mesh pockets on the back. It had a little ring binder with like a pencil case attachment, and then another pocket in the front and a handle. So they came in these 3 different colours, and they also came in 2 different sizes, a narrow one. That plastic pocket on the front, you actually can put something in as well. So the insides are similar, but one's a bit smaller than the other. I think the small one was about 24, yeah, there we are, 2,490 yen. And the bigger one was 2,900, I think. So not cheap, but they're very versatile and practical. I got some basic phone covers and lanyards, and I also got one of these, a little cable keeper. You put your cables in there and wind them up to keep them safe. Then I paused to look at these, but apart from the colour not really being my thing, they were really quite stiff, though I did like the fact that they were see-through. And then those really soft, I think those are like an iPad case, but passed on those as well. This little case was very good. I did get one of these as well. 990 yen. And they also had a bigger version as well. Great for travelling, putting small bits and pieces in. I do love the covers that a lot of the Japanese use for plain notebooks, and they had some here as well. Some other mesh cases and some mesh pencil cases. They were quite stiff though. And one that you can hang on the wall, I guess. That's quite big. Just so many different options. You can stand there and think, what could I use this for? Yeah. This one was more to my liking. So while this was quite stiff, it did have a zip on it, which is much more useful. And this was really interesting. This price tag showed the cost in all the different countries, and you can pause it to see your country, but for Australia the cost is twice as much in Australia. They had these little basic planners as well, all different sizes. Those were the monthly layout ones. They've just got so many different options. And they had some clear cases. The plastic book covers. And then we were on to other bits and pieces. So they've got like the standard homeware sets. You can get all your basics here. I'm just curious to look and see what they have. Obviously, I wasn't going to buy anything that heavy or big. And then we entered the food section. So they do have quite a lot of food here. These freeze-dried strawberries with different coatings were quite delicious. I would highly recommend those if you see them. I've checked since in Australia and they don't have them. All sorts of very reasonably priced snacks. Some slightly more healthier than others, I would say. But yeah, just a few £100 for each of these. If you want to grab something small to keep with you for on the go. Interesting flavours as well. A lot of the time, obviously, you've got your matcha, but depending on the time of year you go, you might get sakura, cherry blossom flavour. So it's not just snacks as well. They do soups and curries, all sorts of flavours. Guess it'd be quite good if you're staying in an Airbnb or something, but we were in a hotel, so we didn't get any, but it was still interesting to look. This caught my eye. It was a onion soup. I'd just been to somewhere that was famous for the onion soup, so I had to pick it up, but I didn't get it. It's quite bulky to take home. And that was it. We finished with a quick look at the home layouts setup and we were done. I went to another Muji in Ginza and that was massive compared to this. So if you are keen to see that, watch out for that in a future video. And this video interesting? I'd love it if you would subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.